finds a hole, and he'll get a first down and more. That's a healthy run of about 13 there up to the 43-yard line, and that's going to move the chains for the first time tonight.
And the runs like that are really, like you mentioned, where the size comes into the factor. You know, O'Day's offensive linemen are huge. You got big 6'8", 300-pound Kai Olek. You have Dylan Cohen is almost about 300 pounds as well. You know, that's, I mean, what did you say earlier about the Edmonds-Woodway defensive line? They're about roughly what?
I think we have, in terms of starters, I can't quite see who's out there, but, you know, they're mainly ranged around the 6-foot range.
What about for weight?
For weight, I think we're hanging around about the 200 spot. Huge weight differential.
See, and that's what I mean. Yeah, it's a big differential on runs like that.
Now, if they can be more athletic, that will benefit them later as Brown makes a nice cut. He's across the 50, big stiff arm, and now gets ahead, finally taken down at the Warrior 40-yard line, and that's going to set up a nice first down for the Irish there. Big gain for Jason Brown. That's just, you want to see more Edmonds-Woodway athleticism, but you have a guy like Jason Brown out there. It's really going to be tough to see, as Edmonds-Woodway's never faced a team like O'Day before. They did lose to Monroe, and that game was really Monroe running it all the time. I don't think the score really didn't reflect how much of a dominant performance that was, but for the rest of the season so far, Edmonds-Woodway placing second in Metro. That, apologize again for making sure that we have our audio set up correctly, but that's going to be a 6-yard gain on the play as later hits brought him out of bounds with no flag thrown, as that's going to set up a second down and medium. Very manageable here spot, and really a very solid drive here to start off for the Irish first thing.
Definitely, and the one thing you want to keep going, which they have been so far 2 minutes in, is stay disciplined on the line. You know, Jason, he's going to get these runs like he has been all year. He's going to break it off because we know he's almost a 5-star. He's an amazing athlete. So in games like this, like I said, just stay disciplined and you'll get it going as Dana hands it off to the fullback, Beckett Swanson in the I formation, breaking a couple tackles and down inside the 30-yard line. I believe that should be a first down. In fact, it will.
And before we get too much deeper into this game, let's look at the injury watch for O'Day. Tucker Ashcraft, Kyan McDonald, and are the two biggest names that we are not going to be seeing tonight on the field. Among others, Christian Wynn will not be in the game either. So 3 really big names that have played key roles this season are going to be out. However, the Irish definitely know how to respond when adversity comes up. Jason Brown, left side, is going to be finally brought down for a gain of 3. And so that's going to set up a second down and 7. Replacing them tonight are going to be Sage Salopek and Darian Marat at corner, replacing Kai McDonald. They've been in for a lot this season, really doing a great job replacing him so far. And Xander Turner is going to be replacing Kai McDonald. He is from my mentor group. He's a great guy, big guy in person to look at, but he definitely is. He's a sophomore, developing tight end, developing football player in general, but he already has that athletic side to him, so that's not going to be any of an issue at all.
At the corner position, they really have nothing to be worried about. Sage Salopek has been crazy good all year. You know, only a sophomore, too. That's the other thing, how crazy it's been. As Dana will be under center once again, as he'll hand it off to the fullback, Quinn White, dragging a defender and getting to about the 20-yard line. Should be about a third and about 2 or 3 here on third down.
Yeah, I will say that's the exact type of run there. He made contact probably a yard after the line of scrimmage, but after the end of the run there was able to, I think that was eventually a 5-yard gain there on second down. So third down and 2 here for O'Day. By just looking at the size differential of these teams, you can really see how O'Day's favored in terms of how many players they have, how much depth they have going back. So here's third down and 2. Pitch right to Brown. Brown's going to find a hole right side, inside the 15, cuts outside, inside the 10, 5, and finally brought down at the 2-yard line. And that's going to set up a first down and goal, as he is a little slow to get up, but seems to be just fine after he's been taking big hits all drive long so far, but is playing well so far.
A great job by Jason there to make the cut to the outside. He noticed the defender from Edmonds-Woodway took the wrong angle on him, and he took advantage of it. Now we have a play just about the 4-yard line here. Good awareness by Jason on that one.
And really going to be key here to keep this momentum going for O'Day. If they keep this up, if they run this type of offense all night long, this is what you usually see in the third quarter against good Metro opponents, but they can do this all night long. This will be a dominant win for the Irish. But Jason Brown's going to carry up the middle. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard more. We're going to see where they spot it, but Nice job on the inside for Edmonds-Woodway there. Didn't even stack the box really that much. And that's going to set up a 2nd down and goal. Still from the 2 this time. Looks like they originally spotted it at the 4-yard line, so that is going to be a gain of 2 there. So they're going to keep the same crew out there. It's Andrew Tran and Darren Mott at wide receiver. I will say that's usually the way they start the game, but they frequently will switch to other receivers like Nick Dunley, among others. Kyan McDonald's been a name we've been seeing out there, and a lot more. So I'm sure that they will be switching that up, but right now those are the 2 we got out there. Split back formation. Dan is going to keep it. Is he going to be able to get in?
I don't think he got in, nope.
He did not. They're going to spot it at the 1-yard line. And so that'll set up a 3rd down and goal as Edmonds-Woodway is providing some resistance here deep into the red zone.
Irish really have to take advantage of this opportunity. I mean, you always want to take advantage of opportunities in the red zone, but when you're at the 2-yard line, especially on a 1st down, you you pretty much have to get that in. They have 2 more downs, though, but I'm still confident they can get it in here, as I believe we have another I formation. We've had all run plays, right, so far?
So far, only run plays, as that will remain consistent here as Brown able to cut outside. Now spinning, he's in the end zone, touchdown with a flag. And so we are going to push a pause on that.
Not sure what this could be on, either be a face mask or a hold. I'm not too sure. Isn't looking too good, though. And it will be, in fact, a hold on O'Day. It'll be about a 3rd and roughly 10, maybe.
So 3rd down. Are we playing 3rd down here, but from the 12-yard line, or 11-yard line this time? Maybe throwing the ball this time isn't the worst idea ever. Even a screen pass to Jason Brown. I can definitely imagine Coach Kohler wanting to go for it on 4th down here if it's close enough, but especially with this wind that we were experiencing. However, I mean, Owen Livingston was hitting from 45 during warm-ups. As they're going to fake to Brown. Dan looking right side now over the middle. He looks left, wide open. Inside the 10-5, touchdown, Irish on the first drive of the game. What a way to start this one off. Luke Dana, I haven't seen him sit in the pocket that long all season long, but now with good coverage in the red zone there, not a lot of room to work with. He just saw, wait, everyone's on the right side of the field, creeps left and just has so much room to work with, as that is a great way to end off this first drive. With that, Owen Livingston is going to be up here to kick this extra point through, hopefully, and push this Irish lead to 7.
Couldn't get the push on the first 3. Luke Dana says no problem. He does it himself as he just wide open. I mean, I don't even know if I can come up with another word for that. I mean, there was literally no one on the left side of the field.
Yeah, and I think just after that kind of performance, it's interesting to see that a run off a pass play was the result of that touchdown. As that PAT is up and good with about 50 yards to spare. And that is going to do it for the first drive. 7-0 here, the score, with 6:23 left in this first quarter of action. We're going to be taking a quick break here. We'll be right back here live on YouTube in just a moment.
We are back here ready for the Edmonds-Woodway first drive of the game here. As the Irish capped off that drive with a Luke Dana rushing touchdown from about 12 yards out to make it 7-0. Roughly 6:23 to go here in the first quarter, as your kickoff man, usual for the year, Tyler Bugby, is back deep and ready to boot it away to the Warriors. Not sure what we have. Looks like a little bit of a delay.
Looks like you see the left end zone there. You're going to see maintenance or Memorial Stadium worker communicating with the refs about something. I will say this wind is blowing. It's not necessarily super cold, so I won't say, if they throw the ball, I can imagine hands will be warm enough, but you can hear it in our mics. It is blowing, and it is blowing hard here as Tyler Buggy's going to get ready to kick this one away with his squib kick consistency. The wind shouldn't have too much of an effect as he's going to boot that one away. High kick there, fielded about the 21-yard line by Diego Escondon. Escondon makes a move left and then cuts back out the middle to the 36-yard line, and that's where Edmonds-Woodway is going to take over their first drive of the day. Steve Warren Jr. is going to be the man under center here, or should I say in the gun for the Warriors this afternoon, as they're going to be running multiple option offense, not necessarily read option offense, but they do quite a bit. They'll keep it on the ground there with Liam Fitting, but they'll also move it through the air. You're going to see a double pass sometimes from Diego Escandon at the receiver spot, so it should be a fun game to watch how the Irish respond to that with a lot of defensive backs. Guys like Brendan Murphy and Rashawn Thompson are likely going to have a big impact on this game. First down and 10 in motion, receiver in motion from the slot. They're going to give it to Fitting up the middle. He is met at the line of scrimmage. No yards on the play, and that's a second down and 10. Great start there for the Irish defensively.
And what a shocker. Look who it is. Brendan Murphy plugging the A gap like normal. He's been nothing but consistent at the middle linebacker position, just plugging that hole right there. No gain for Edmonds-Woodway.
I don't think the Irish should be in the same position they are this season without Brendan Murphy. He's been, like you said, plugging that A gap. That's been a big spot where he's been performing this season, but also just being in pass coverage as well. He's so effective at so many levels. He's going to drop. Warren's going to drop back this time. Looks right, has his man, but he's brought down by, I believe that's Salopek on the far side.
Yep. On
the gain of 6, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 4 here for the Warriors.
If you're Edmonds-Woodway, you really have to convert plays like this. 3rd and 4 against O'Day's defense, which has been nothing but dominant really the whole year. You have to get the first downs when you can, and those first downs are going to have to come on 3rd and medium and 3rd and short like they have it right now, as Stephen Warren in the gun once again. Takes a snap, drops back, gets rushed. It's a screenplay over to Jesse Hart as they cannot bring him down. He's going to get loose. Past the 50 down to the 45 and out of bounds at around the 42-yard line. Good executed screenplay there from Edmonds-Woodway as they get the first down and into Irish territory.
Definitely a nice play there, as it looks like a tackle was just missed. Sandra Afua, though, I saw that man chugging downfield, just missed the tackle there, though. A slot receiver will undoubtedly beat a defensive tackle 99 times out of 100. But regardless, first down and 10 in Irish territory for the first time today. Warren in the gun. He's going to give it to Fitting up the middle. Fitting's going to have a little bit of room to run, but finally brought down by multiple Irish defenders. He keeps on chugging. He's a little short of a bigger built guy. Effective runner, to say the least, and that's going to be a first down there. Maybe something to watch for the Irish. Definitely a runner like Christian Wynn, where he's powerful, just sees a gap, goes through it, and keeps on plugging.
Great job by the Edmonds-Woodway offensive line on that one for sure. They created a huge hole for him to run through. Got about 20 on that play. Got to give props to them on that one. As Warren will be in the gun once again with Fitting back deep as Warren drops back, feels the heat, and off the hands of the receiver, number 2, Diego Escandon, as that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 here. Good defense, I believe. Was that
Brendan Murphy was right on and hit as he threw there. Possibly made the throw a little higher, but great pressure nonetheless of him getting through that gap and getting in there. Almost had a sack, almost. But that man-to-man coverage was very effective as well at the end of the day. So 4:26 left here in the quarter. Ball on the 24-yard line. 2nd and 10 for the Warriors. Warren Jr. in the gun once more. 2 receivers to either side. Play fake. Now throws right to his slot receiver. That ball is going to be incomplete. Knocked out of his hands. A hit jarred it loose. It looks like that was Brendan Murphy on the hit once again. And that's going to force a 3rd down and long here early. I will say the Warriors special team has been a bright spot for them this season. I don't know. High school, this is usually a 4th down and 10 area, but I will say a good soccer team usually equates to good punters and kickers, and we certainly saw that during warm-ups. So we'll see what they have to do here, but that is if they cannot get a first down here on 3rd and 10 from the 24. It's going to be Warren once again, Fitting to his left. Diego Escandon, the single receiver to the right side, 3 receivers to the left. Nickel look for the Irish here. Dropping back is Warren, looks right side, now looks left. That ball is going to be caught by Will Kishpog. He's brought down after a gain of 7 or 8 there. After a gain of 7, that's going to bring up a 4th down and 3.
I'd have to believe Edmonds-Woodway is going to go for it here, which it appears they will.
Yeah, I think that's what looks like. That's what they're going to do. Will Kishpog make himself open there, but great little floater pass there from Warren. I will say put that in a perfect spot. I thought that was going to get picked there or something, but really knew what he was doing.
Nickel look again. Edmonds-Woodway looking to pass here. Warren is in the gun as he takes a look back to his sideline.
O'Day's showing zone here on defense. Let's see how they run it, though. It's going to be fitting up the middle. He gets nothing as he'll lose yards on the play, and that's a turnovers on downs.
Dylan Cohen making plays on defense as he can on offense. He almost deflected a pass earlier, and he gets a stop there, which gives the Irish the ball. Edmonds-Woodway turnover on downs as O'Day will get the ball at about their own 20, at about their own 15-yard line. Good play there. Get some momentum going here for the offense.
Yeah, this offense, if they can do the same thing that they did on the back on the first drive, then they're going to have no problem at all. The new tight end is Ben Miller. Ben Miller, also a sophomore. He is just as much of an athlete as he shows that on the lacrosse field mainly, but also on the football field. They're going to give it to Brown, right side, weak side run. He finds a hole up the middle, keeps plugging through, and is finally brought down with a little bit of a slam there at the 25.5-yard line. That's going to be setting up a second down and very short here for O'Day. 2nd and 1, traditional deep shot play. Is that a Kohler thing? Not really, but maybe. Luke Dana's arm has been very good this season. Only had, I think he's had a total of 3 interceptions this season, 2 of which coming against that tough loss against Eastside Catholic. But Dana's going to be your under center once again. 2 slot receivers, 2 receivers to the left. Quinn White is going to be getting the ball up middle, trucks a man, and gets to the 39-yard line. They're spotting the 40. It's either the 39 or 40-yard line, but that's going to be a first down regardless. And those are just the type of runs that you want to see with this O'Day team against smaller opponents from outside the Metro League. For sure, and like you mentioned about throwing it on 2nd and 1, the reason they probably didn't do that there is because they're trying to set that up for later in the game. Because, as you said, 2nd and 1, obviously deep shot play, but everyone knows that. They gave it to Quinn White there. Good decision by them, getting the first down as Dana will be under center. Hands it off to Sir Hart, the running back, filling in. He's going to be across the 50. Huge hole down the sideline as he will be brought down at about the Edmonds-Woodway 25. A huge hole for him to run through. He sure found it. Big, big gain for another Irish first down. Yeah, that is just the kind of run you want from your running back there. Finds a hole and just abuses the defense. That he's a fast guy. He's a great athlete, but he is sure a speedster, as that's going to set up a first down and 10 at the 25-yard line now. Checking into the game is going to be Beckett Swanson this time. I like the rotation of running backs that they have. It's usually 2 fullbacks being Beckett Swanson and Quinn Webb, and it's usually Jason Brown as well with Christian Wynn, but tonight they have him running with Sir Hart. Great idea there, as they're going to be rotating those likely the rest of the night. First down and 10 here. Dana under center, pitches right side. That's going to be Sir Hart once again. This time he's met in the backfield and loses yards on the tackle there. We're going to credit that to number 28, Christopher Cruz-Acre. And that is going to set up a second down and much less manageable. Second with 13 to go. About that, that's a great tackle by him in open space. You know, as you mentioned, Sir's a really fast guy. As you can see by that run right there, he didn't let him get by him. He put him in his place and had him lose 3 yards. As the wind is really getting to us here today. It definitely is. This is maybe that's. I doubt we're going to see a lot of deep balls that hang up in the air tonight. And I bet punts are going to be. Should be fun to watch. Yeah, for sure. Even saw it on that extra point, moving a little bit, but that was not a problem at all. Jason Brown find a little room up the middle. He gets 5 there on the run, setting up a 3rd down and 8, which is a lot more manageable than 3rd down and 13. Let's see what they do here. Coach Kohler looks a little fired up, so maybe, I don't know, maybe he will decide to throw the ball soon. Maybe he'll keep it on the ground with one of his many backs in the backfield that can do their thing. Will this be the first play we see an Irish pass of the game? They've ran it pretty much every time. They have one pass that came. It wasn't even a pass. A touchdown resulted from a passing play, but it was a scramble. So that is a run, so no passing plays to this point. Passing plays, no passes. So Dan is still 0 for 0 in the I formation now. Drops back, fakes to Brown, rolls right, looks to Brown, left side, screen. Set up Kingston Fotuali downfield, gets his lead block. Brown's going to break a tackle, and he walks into the end zone for the touchdown. Great blocking and great vision from Jason Brown results in an Irish 6 as they'll go up 13-0 here with 45 seconds left in this first quarter of action. He just makes that look easy, doesn't he? I mean, I thought for sure he was getting leg tackled right there, but nope, just a quick jump over him, an easy run in for the touchdown. So good with his feet. I think that's natural for him. I know, especially with those big runs, the time that his feet spend on the ground is very, very low, as he's very much a track runner that way, as he is a track runner in the spring, but his feet are always in the air, so that they can't tackle him as easily because they're not on the ground as much simply. There's an Edmonds-Woodway jump offside. That's going to be number 8, Pablo Hernandez. And so that's going to move it 1 yard forward. Is this a 2-point attempt for the Irish? No, they're going to keep Owen Livingston out there.
They're going to decline it.
They're going to decline it. Wow.
Yeah, you don't want them to be too close. I mean, you could just go for 2 from about 1 yard out, but nope, they want to keep Livingston out there, give him some breathing room.
Maybe to not let not have the temptation for Coach Kohler.
And that wind is really whipping, if you can see by things on the field goal post. As
Kick is
good nonetheless. Wow.
Good. I know we are. I can imagine this is the most audio. This is not the most pleasing audio you're going to hear all night, but the wind is blowing here. We're doing our best. 14-0 the score after most of the first quarter is done. 2 drives in for O'Day, 2 touchdowns. Edmonds-Woodway getting ready for the second possession here. They've run a lot with fitting out the gun, and I think they're probably going to turn to more of that, but maybe throwing through the air. They've had some success there multiple times, throwing little out routes, screen passes. Those have worked for them. So I would imagine deep shot is coming eventually, but maybe not quite out of the gates there. As back deep to return. One other thing I wanted to mention. The way they have their returners set up is very much a funnel formation, so it's effective because if they want to push it to the outside, if they want to kick to the outside, then it's going to go out of bounds most likely. But if they kick it down the middle, it's going to go to return. It's a smart idea there. They have a few guys back deep. They have Jesse Hart is their main returner, but looks like that's Cruz Escondon and Moses Martin as well. Diego Escondon and Moses Martin back deep for the Warriors. So I like that formation line. I think that's very smart. I also like the high school and college traditional 2-returner setup, but that kick is away from Owen Livingston. Just a line drive deep kick off the hands of Escondon, fielded by Hart, not cleanly at all at the 8-yard line, trying to get some blocks, gets a few, tries to run left, now cuts back up the middle, gets a little bit of breathing room, but not enough. Ball comes out. Is it after he's down? They are going to say he is down at the 19-yard line, and so that is where the Warriors will take over. Not quite a convenient first down and 10 here, but definitely the first and 10 they're going to have to work with.
Definitely for sure, and Edmonds-Woodway is really lucky they didn't fumble that ball before his knee was down. You know, that would put the Irish back in the red zone and possibly be up 3 scores. You never know here with only 30 seconds left in the first quarter for Edmonds-Woodway, as Warren will be in the gun once again with Fitting in the backfield, 4 wide receivers wide. Hands it off to Fitting as he bounces to the outside, breaks a tackle, and will get about a gain of roughly 5 before being brought down by a swarm of O'Day defenders.
Good run there, Liam Fitting. He's been playing well so far. I think that, he is definitely a shorter guy. Liam Fitting standing only at 5'9", 170 pounds, but definitely has a lot of power with those 170 pounds, and not, he's not one of these 6'3" running backs that you can just sort of lean down a little bit, hit his midsection, because he's standing at 6'3". It's definitely a little bit harder of a transition with a shorter running back. But with that said, that's going to do it for the first quarter play. O'Day leading this one 14-0. Edmonds-Woodway trying to prevent them from running away with this. We'll be right back here live on YouTube in just a moment. Second quarter of action just about underway here from Memorial Stadium under the lights of the Space Needle. So we are ready for quarter 2 action as the chains get set. From their own 19-yard line is where Steve Warren is going to be setting up. So far this Irish defense has been very effective. And so 1st and 10 will be the down and distance here to open up the second quarter play. Warren in the gun. He's going to fake to Fitting. Now left side sees Escondon. He's going to get 5 forward to the 30-yard line, and that is going to be a first down for Edmonds-Woodway. So far, they're moving the ball fairly well, just had a few roadblocks in the way. That wasn't a bad first drive at all, but just there were a few gaps that opened up and not a lot of just consistent ground and pound offenses that were super effective that we saw. Little plays like that are what happened, and I mean, maybe that is just good blocking, but also you're seeing Irish defense not really fully adjust to this kind of play style because they haven't really seen it that much this season. As they're going to give it to Fitting up the middle. That kind of play style they have seen this season. That's the play style they run to some extent. As he's going to get about half a yard, they're going to credit him with 1, and that's going to set up a second down here in 9. Xavier Agassi on the tackle.
Got to give a lot of credit to the senior A.J. Hall. They're playing the 3-tech position, just plugging up 2 guys, able to let Xavier, like you said, make the tackle on that. He's been doing that all year, and right there's just another of many examples of it, as I believe we have Warren in the gun again with a man in motion. 4 wide receivers as Warren, another screen play here to Fitting, as he will try to bounce it outside as, oh wow, he will break a tackle, but I believe he stepped out. Yep, that's what they'll rule. No first down for Edmonds-Woodway, so it'll be about a 3rd and 3, 2 or 3. Could that come in clutch for the Irish? We don't know. A big stop here,
Maybe.
upcoming.
Yeah, I think your key for O'Day here is to make sure to lock up Liam Fitting. He's been really the only consistent weapon for Edmonds-Woodway so far. There have been a few other targets like Diego Escondon and Jesse Hart, Will Kishbach, but not really a lot other than Liam Fitting has gone their way so far with consistency. So I think that's your key, put a man on him. But also, I don't know if they're going to try to – I don't know if they're blitzing here. They're playing their defensive back 7 yards deep, and they're going to fake it, throw it past left side, and that is Diego Escondon gets locked up. Darian Mirage through a blocker makes the tackle, and that's going to force a 4th down and 3 here. They're not going to credit any gain, but the offense is going to come off the field, and out to punt is going to be number 83, David Danio. Back deep to return for the Irish, Andrew Tran, the speedy 5'6" demon. I'd love to see him get one and just go.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, man, that'd be a blessing to see. We haven't seen a lot from him this season in the returning aspects, but hopefully here to see one here. As the kick is away, high kick, running towards the sideline, and that's gonna be out of bounds at around the 30 at the 30-yard line. So that's where the first drive of the second quarter will start for the Irish. It looks like rotating more receivers, and like I said, it's going to be Xander Turner back in the game. They're running with Jason Brown still, but I see Tyler Bugby out there at receiver as well. And Anton Arujo is going to be the new quarterback for the Irish tonight.
Seeming that they do this almost every game. You know, Anton, he's been in there. He's been in about 1 or 2 drives every game, and he's done an amazing job in almost every single one of them. Nonetheless, you know, last game he had that naked bootleg, but there was literally nobody, and he faked almost everyone out.
Pick me out.
Yeah. I thought I was one of the only people who didn't get faked out, but nonetheless, he's under center here in an I formation with Jason in the backfield. As he will hand it off to Jason, makes a good cut, bounces out to the left side, past the 40, makes another cut as he's going to be dragged down. That'll be a horse collar or face mask. 3 flags down. Wow, laundry all over the field.
Looks like one was back at the 35-yard line.
There may be multiple flags here. We'll check to see what this one is.
Did I see a 4th just drop, or I don't know, maybe not. A lot of flags.
A lot of leaves on the field, too.
Yeah, really. There may be like 18 flags out there just blending in with the autumn colors of Pacific Northwest. Truly a sight to see, but regardless, that they're going to call a hold on O'Day, it looks like. But also a personal foul, a face mask on Edmonds-Woodway. Those penalties will offset, and they're going to replay first down from the 30-yard line again. That's a shame because that was a great run from Jason Brown there.
Big break for Edmonds-Woodway. Like you said, that was an amazing run. He made multiple good cuts on that, but unfortunately there was a hold. I'm not sure if that would have led to him getting tackled if there wasn't a hold, but you never know, as the Irish will do it over again. But you got to think positive. No yards were lost. Still 1st and 10.
I do like it. Looked like after a few weeks of Luke Dana balling out that it was going to be a Luke Dana show this season, but I'm really a big fan of the 2 quarterback system that Kohler has adopted here. as it's going to be Tyler Bugby in the slot, Nick Dunley near side, Quinn White and Jason Brown in the back. They're going to hit to Quinn White, up middle, White, room to run, right side now, one man to beat. Can he beat that man? He makes a stiff arm, but is brought down with it across the 40-yard line down to the 39 of Edmonds-Woodway, and that's going to be a first down.
Brought down by Killian Chappelle on that. Great tackle by him, or else White would have been gone, and that would have made it 20-0 O'Day. But like I said, good tackle by him. Prevents about 40 more yards and damage by White.
On the tackle there is Killian Chappelle. Yep. And that is, I mean, having a guy back there is going to be vital in this game. They're going to see a lot of runs like that, a lot of runs up the middle. That is a fullback run that is designed to go for those kind of yards. So regardless, Antonio Ruggio under center, split back formation, 2 receivers to the left, counter to Brown. Jason Brown has room to run right side, and it's Chappelle not able to make the tackle, and he's out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Looked like a dive for
I hope Jason's
his
okay.
knees. Jason Brown down on the field, slow to get up.
That was not a good tackle there. He really went down right away. I was worried something's wrong.
We'll say definitely a later tackle. Looks like Jason Brown is up now.
Thankfully. Wow.
Running on his own will, possibly beat up a little bit, you know. That happens to Jason Brown at times. I think it possibly could be a combination of him getting banged up, but also slow to get up, not forcing anything, seeing if he's really hurt, and then assessing, okay, can I get up on my own, or do I need to go see, do I need help to get up so I don't injure myself further? That's what I can assume from that. I see, you know, there are a few guys that do that kind of thing and aren't just forcing themselves up, which is a smart thing to do. You see these guys, you know, get concussions, and they're forcing themselves up. You can seriously hurt yourself because they immediately are falling down. You got to have your teammates here, you up. Pitch left side. It's going to be Rasan Thomas, the 6'4" running back, and he just walks into the end zone for an Irish touchdown. Man, that was the best blocking I've ever seen. Gives him a clear path for 6, and the Irish will go up 20-0.
You want to talk about taking a stroll right there. That's what he sure did. He just breezed into the end zone right there. And that's his second of the year. He did that against Garfield, too. That's just going to be his second rushing touchdown. Not your ideal running back. 6'3", about 180 pounds, you know. And he just walked on in like it was nothing, like Jason did earlier. 20-0 O'Day with 8:49 left to go in the second quarter.
I will say the 6'4" running back has wheels as well. You see it on the defensive side of the ball as he plays that strong safety spot. But, man, it is a sight to see as the officials are going to call. Looks like they are going to ask Quinn White to leave the field. Didn't have his knee pads set up correctly, a common thing that we've been seeing from refs these days. I wonder if the WIA is asking them to kind of drill down on that.
It is the playoffs, so you can see the difference in leniency and strictness when it comes to those type of issues.
Yeah, you're going to see, I think what I've seen so far is with holding penalties and those kind of personal foul penalties are going to be a lot more, but holding penalties, this is what I've seen last year. Holding penalties are going to be a lot less, which I like as the kick is up and good. But little things like that, making sure the players are safe, is going to be a lot more because they want to be guys to be able to go deeper in the playoffs without getting hurt. Because they want to see the best teams play. They don't want to see O'Day minus half their starting roster.
No.
You want to see even your opponents. You don't want to see Edmonds-Woodway's JV team out there. You want to see their starting guys. You want to see who the best team really is. That's the point of the playoffs, to find those best squads.
People really just want good football, nonetheless.
Exactly. I would much rather see. It might give half the people in the stadium a heart attack, but I would rather see a nail-biter win than a blowout win a lot of the time. Unless I'm just seeing like high-quality runs every single play. And that's what we've seen so far. It's really impressive.
No, not even a question. Jason's been out there balling. Hopefully he's all right so we can keep seeing it. But
Jason Brown, Brendan Murphy already making an impact. When is he not going to make an impact? I mean, he's that Mike linebacker for a reason. He is lined up there, got moved down from the strong safety position in the offseason, put on a ton of good weight, muscle weight, and it's just he's an absolute unit. And they really appreciate him on the defensive side of the ball. And that's why he's a captain, because he also has that leadership ability that you see in the locker room, you see it in the classroom, you see it on the field. It's a really important thing to see as they're going to put, it looks like that's Tyler Bugby back to kick it off. We talk about the quarterback battle, but we don't talk about the kicker battle. I mean, Tyler Bugby, I like the idea of having a guy that can hit hard, tackle well out there on the field, but, you know, you're got Owen Livingston, he was hitting from 45 during practice. So I don't know. We'll see what comes here, as that's going to be Bugby kicking it left side. That ball's going to roll. It is going to be out of bounds at the 24. And so that's going to be a nice gain for Edmonds-Woodway to start our next drive.
That means the Warriors will begin their drive at the 35-yard line.
So first down and 10 here for the Warriors, setting up at the 35-yard line. For high school, that's really not too much of a notable start. It's definitely better than you would regularly receive, but not overly so. I mean, you're consistently seeing teams set up at around the low 30-yard line. That's usually
that penalty affects you more in the NFL and college than it does high school.
You're seeing kicks aren't going as deep, returns are going for more because guys are less disciplined tackling. That's just the sport. That's just the high school level. Guys don't tackle as well, and that's how it's supposed to be. That's why college and NFL football teams are better. And that's going to gain is going to go for one there, as the holes are starting to be stuffed a little more as they figure out fitting more. And here's Warren once again, one receiver to the right side. That's going to be Escondon, 3 to the left. Fitting is to his right in the backfield. Arujo's going to come down in the man coverage. Dropping back is Warren, throws left side, hits his man Jesse Hart, but he's brought down. Ball comes out. They're going to call him down after a gain of 1, though.
I'm not so. They call him down, but I'm not so sure about that. Salopek thought differently as well. I thought they got that ball poked out of there before his knee was down, but 3rd and long nonetheless, though, for Edmonds-Woodway.
Yeah, great hit there from Anton Arujo. Immediately recognized where the quarterback's eyes were looking and got down to be able to make that hit hard. Anton, great student as well. Really smart guy. That's why he's able to make those high IQ plays. That's why he's such a good quarterback, I think. As Warren's going to roll left out of the gun, he's going to throw left side. Throws about 5 feet above his receiver there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 8 to go.
Another 3 and out for Edmonds-Woodway, as they are going to be punting for I believe the 3rd time this game. It's been really the story of the night, considering the offense that they've had to deal with, as we will have David Daniel, the punter, or actually lifted as a receiver and defensive back on to punt for Edmonds-Woodway. And Andrew Tran once again back deep. He really has the tools all to be a receiver, don't you think? You know, he has that speed, he has the hands, as we saw from that catch early in the air. As the punt's going to be blocked, I believe that was Brendan Murphy in there, is going to be scooped up by the freshman David Schwerzel. Wow, they really set the rush, and they got there. Big play for the Irish special teams.
Man, that was all physicality, getting straight through that offensive line. And, oh, man, that was a beautiful block. Of course, that's going to be Brendan Murphy, but you saw all of those guys. As soon as I saw that ball snap, I said, wow, they're really just running through this offensive line here. And as soon as Paniel got the ball, it was just bound to happen.
He had no chance on that.
None at all. So it's going to be Jason Brown and Beckett Swanson in the split back formation. Tran to the right, to the left is Mirage. Ben Miller going to be a tight end. Looks like they're alternating drives with Miller and Turner. Here's Arujo dropping back, looks left side.
Oh, he's
deep
wide
fade,
open.
And that's going to be out of bounds. Looks like he let him just barely left. Couldn't quite drag that foot in time. I will say, from my angle, it looks like he was out of bounds if you reviewed it.
Yeah.
If we had video replay, I think there wouldn't be enough to overturn it. But that's a great idea. But, I mean, 3 inches to the right and, oh, man, three.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Just a little too much out in front from Arujo, though.
Run it again. It's going to go. It's going to be, run it to the far side.
Keep that one-on-one again. Darian ran a great route there. Hopefully they can do it again as Arujo's in the split-back formation, as he will hand it off to Jason Brown on a counterplay. Makes a cut. Is he going to go? He will be ran out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Almost there. I think by Jason's reaction, he thought he had the pylon. He just missed it. As
reach over. I did see he did definitely run out of bounds, but I think he tried to reach over and just didn't get it. Beat himself up about it. Jason Brown already has 1 touchdown today, and I don't think he needs to beat himself about it too much. 7-11 left in the second half, or this first half of action. Garujo's going to stay out there at quarterback, same crew out on that offensive line, which has been so dominant today. I mean, there's been one run that hasn't, one loss, one play where yards were lost on the ground, and that's really saying something about this O-line. Pitch left side to Jason Brown. Jason cuts outside, now cuts inside, and he's in for the touchdown. Jason Brown with his second on the day, 28-0, 27-0, knock on wood here, as with 7 minutes left in this first half of action. Man, really
pouring it on.
I mean, that offensive line, I will say he did have to get into a tight spot there. The blocking wasn't just perfect there, but that was good execution by that defense, forcing all their movement to that left side, or their right side, I should say. But I mean, when you have a running back like that who can fit in those small holes and really just break through for a touchdown, they're kind of doomed.
Oh no, nonetheless, Jason's that explosive of a runner. When you really get that edge, you can't really do anything about it. As Livingston's extra point will be up and good. That'll push the lead to 28-0 O'Day with 7:05 left in the second quarter. We'll be right back here on the Irish Sports Network.
Owen Livingston, they're trading off a lot today, but Owen Livingston's gonna be the one to kick this one deep for the Irish. Edmonds-Woodway is looking for a spark. And I will say they've had a few, but just nothing to ignite, nothing for them to ignite. As that's gonna be fielded by Eskandon back at the 8-yard line. He's running right side, and he is tackled by Peter Polly. He's gonna be the one getting the credit there, and that is gonna set up a first down and 10 for Edmonds-Woodway at the 27-yard line. Peter Polly, he is the best tackler on that team, and you really see his skills. I will talk about it 10,000 times more, as I've already talked about it 10,000 times. He wraps up so well, and you see it on the wrestling mat. You see the skills correlate. Our digital manager, John Orm, will tell us he thinks every one of those linebackers and defensive ends should get on the wrestling mat during wrestling season in the winter, as that run up the middle of the fitting is going to get 0 yards of a gain, and that's going to set up a second down and long. But I think that's true. You saw O'Day, really good O'Day guys like Dustin Camacho, who class of 2020, I believe. He was on the mat. He was good. He was a center, and he had that physicality there. Kept him in shape a lot. He was a state champion wrestler. But on the defensive side, when he did play on the defensive side, he tackled very well. So when you see that correlation, I mean, it's hard not to recognize that and see that those skills translate over very consistently.
Definitely. It appears we have an injured warrior out there for Edmonds-Woodway. Not exactly sure the number on that.
Just make sure he's out of the picture. Make sure that guy's completely out of the picture. Looks like an Edmonds-Woodway offensive line able to get up with little assistance there.
Thankfully, he's all right for sure.
Holding his back a little bit, never a great thing to see, but neither are any injuries. Looks like he's not banged up too much as he's able to walk off the field. Hopefully he is all right, but this game will continue with 6:48 left in the second half, or the second quarter of action, as it is Edmonds-Woodway in the gun. Warren with fitting, 2 receivers to either side, a look they've been running with a lot tonight. First down and second down and 10. Right, they're going to run it, fake up the middle, and it's Kishbog over the middle.
Boom!
Boom! As Andrew said, from Rasan Thomas, the 6'4 safety. That is why you have a 6'4 safety.
And there's a reason he's playing strong safety, too, because
Yeah.
he can deliver the boom like that on that one. Nonetheless, a huge hit, which will set up a 2nd and 1.
He put the strong in strong safety. That was, what a hit on the crutch. You usually see that from middle linebackers, and that's exactly the type of thing Mr. Brendan Murphy would like to do. But, man, that was another type of hit from Rasan Thomas here. It's going to be Warren in the gun for third down and inches. He's going to have 2 receivers to either side. Once again, they're going to run it to fitting up the middle. No, they're going to fake it. Eskandon on the screen left side. He's met by Rasan Thomas after a gain of 2.5, though, and that's going to be enough for a first down to the 41-yard line with that clock still rolling down under 6 minutes here in the second quarter.
Edmonds-Woodway, you really just want to get points on the board going into half. You get the ball at halftime because they won the coin toss. Like I said, you just want points at this point, whether it's a field goal, preferably a touchdown. But nonetheless, points are points. You really want to get some momentum going in to the next half as Warren is in the shotgun again with fitting in the backfield as he fakes it, play action, delivers it as I don't think that'll be a catch. Oh, in fact, it will be a catch. Great play there from the receiver. Number 6, I believe that is
Jesse Hart.
Yep,
on the
Jesse Hart.
reception. I will say at first I thought, no, that's not a catch. He got 1 foot down, and he planted that foot hard, and it was clear inbounds. Got a great view of that. The table cutting off, making a perfect spot for me. I should be the one with all this replay thing. I'm a non-biased opinion. I have a great view. I think all this works out. But, yeah, that was definitely a catch by Jesse Hart. Good work there, getting that 1 foot down. Great throw as well on the money as he's going to set up the screen there. But it's Brendan Murphy. Who else? Tracking Liam Fittings. That screen has worked all night for them. But he's going to get -3 on the reception. And they're going to stop the clock here as a timeout is taken by Edmonds-Woodway. Man, Brendan Murphy all over that. Looks like he was going for the pick at first, but then just wrapped up and put him down.
I was about to say, if Brendan was about a half second earlier, that ball would have been to the house and it would have been 34-0 O'Day. That ball would have been, he would have been gone. I mean, he had a great jump on that. I mean, don't get me wrong, the tackle for a loss is amazing. But, wow, imagine what that could have been if he would have taken that to the house.
Nothing like, there's one thing better in football than a pick six, and that is a fade route to Darren Mirage on the back left corner of the end zone where the ball is in, where his foot is in bounds, I will say. There's nothing you could have done about that. That was a tough throw from Antone. He put that in a great spot, just barely to the left, though. Darren was turning, and that's unlucky at that point. But, we know he can make that play, so not an issue at all. For second down and 13 here from the O'Day 48-yard line. That is where the ball is now. In the gun is Warren with fitting to the right, 1 receiver to the right side, 3 to the left. Drops back, looks right side, tracking. Now they run with that little screen once again, and it's going to be Brendan Murphy with assistance from, I believe, that is Xavier Agassiz. No, that is Peter Polly on the tackle. 9 and 10 getting the tackle, and that is set up at the 39-yard line for third down and 4 off the gain of 9. That jet tunnel screen. Thank you. That has been working a lot very well for them as they're running that with Diego Eskandon. They've been running with that a lot this season from what I've seen in game film, and that's been a big part of their success. So third down and 4 here from the 39. They're going to fake left side, runs with a screen this time, and a flag is thrown late, and that looks like it's going to be on Darian Mirage. I don't know what it's going to be on.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly he did wrong. That looked like a pretty good tackle to me.
Looked like actually not just a correct form tackle, but that was like a great tackle in general as he wrapped up and put him down. Eskandon's a pretty shifty guy as we're going to wait for the call from in the white hat there. It is going to be a personal foul. It's going to be a face mask on.
Did they rule it on Darian, I think?
I think they're going to. It looked like that's the only man I can imagine they'd rule it on. But I don't know. They got a better look than we did, and we're going to trust their officiating here. So, first down and 10 at the 26-yard line is what they'll set up. That was, I will say, if he hadn't gotten a face mask, I don't think the face mask was probably necessary for that tackle, as he wrapped up very, very well. So first down and 10 at the 26-yard line. Warren in the gun, 3 receivers to the right side. Drops back, looks right, feeling the pressure. Goes above, has Fitting on the screen. Fitting has room left side to run. He's going to be inside the 5, brought down at the 3-yard line. And that's going to set up the first and goal for Edmonds-Woodway so far. That was a great, very well-designed play for Edmonds-Woodway as they set up nicely down for the goal to go.
I'm not keeping track of the type of play call they're going by, but I have to say at this point in the game, it's been at least 75% screen plays for Edmonds-Woodway. I mean, that's basically what it is, whether it's a slip screen to the running back like it was to Fitting there, a bubble screen, a tunnel screen. They're running that almost every single play if it's not a run play.
Yeah, I mean, Warren has a great arm. I've seen clips of him airing it out a few times, but, man, that's what's been working so far for them tonight. Gets it down first and goal down at the 1-yard line, as Warren's going to have 2 running backs in the game for the first time tonight. 4 defensive linemen there for O'Day, definitely running a goal line defense. They're going to give it left side, not Fitting that time. Is he going to get in? It's close. No, they're going to spot him short at about the half-foot line, as that's going to be second down and goal here. On the run, it looks like we're going to – couldn't tell who that was. You did not see who that was on the run. It was not Liam Fitting that time, unlike most.
Looked a bit of a smaller back there.
I like the idea of running that smaller back. It was looks like that was Christopher Cruz Acre, as that's going to be one more time. They're going to give it to Acre again, and he will get in for an Edmonds-Woodway touchdown. Their first of the game, coming with 3 minutes left in this first half of play. And that is going to get Edmonds-Woodway on the board here before the half. Looks like they responded to your request there, getting points on the board before they went to the locker room for the first time. And I will say that was
not a request.
On the record, it was not a request, but that was definitely a different type of drive than we've seen so far this game. And the extra point on kicker on for the extra point. First time we're going to see him today is Hector Perez.
You know, they obviously benefited off of that face mask call, but nonetheless, it was good football nonetheless. It's a very high snap there, as that ball is going to be wide left by a lot. Oh, they may get him for roughing or running into the kicker.
I will say he did immediately. He was rushed there by Fa Ciale, and the kick was left because of it, but he was given a tough thing. It looked like the lineman sort of pushed him, forced him to run into the kicker. He didn't have another route to go. Weird play there, but it is going to be running or roughing the kicker.
It's going to be roughing. I mean, it doesn't really matter. They're going to kick it nonetheless, but
now from the 1.5-yard line, so that's going to give him. I think that was wide left there. I think he probably has the distance for this, but we'll see. Sometimes, I don't know, it'll be tough at times. See if they can block this one again. Snap was high that time. Snap is good this time. It is tipped off his fingers.
No good.
No good. Wide. Looks like that was left that time. I don't know who to give the credit to. Maybe Zach Proctor there. And that score is going to stay 28-6 with 3 minutes to go in this first half of play.
We are back and ready for some O'Day football. 3 minutes left in the second quarter. 28-6 O'Day after Edmonds-Woodway capped it off with their first touchdown of the game on about a half-yard run in by the running back, Cruz Acre, as the kicker, I believe that's number 41, Hector Perez, to kick it away. That'll be Darian Murrah. No, that is Sage South. No, 25. Oh, wow.
That's Ryan Phillips
Yeah,
on the
round-
return.
RP getting in some action. Good to see him in there as the Irish's drive will begin at about the 35, 36-yard line. So good starting field position, nonetheless, for O'Day. You got plenty of time, about 3 minutes to go down and get a touchdown before half. Edmonds-Woodway does get the ball. They did defer and win the toss before the game, as they will be led out by, yep, it is Luke Dana once again for O'Day.
If he wants to get if he wants to go downfield and score here, I don't think they can just do it on the ground. I think they have to incorporate some work in the air as well, as they have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They're going to give it to Brown on the counter right side. He gets 2 or 3 there on the run and then is dropped, as that clock will run down to 2:40 here now. Memorial Stadium. The wind is picking up. The temperature is dropping. I have lost feeling in my right index finger. So we'll see how that, maybe they won't go to the air then. It is.
Yeah, I think they're going to stick it on the ground, to be honest with you. I mean, it's been working pretty much all game, and there's really no reason to stop it, considering you are up 22 points, as split back formation for Dana. Under center, as he will hand it off to, no, he will not hand it off. Play action bootleg, as Luke Dana will evade the rush, get a couple yards and a first down. Great play there by Dana to evade the rush, not take a sack, as the Irish get once again another first down at about the 47-yard line.
I think that's the difference of tackling. That is not a signature Peter Polly wrap it up tackle. That was I think running like that. He was halfway between just trying to hit him and halfway trying to just wrap up and put him to the ground, but not what you want to see there out of your defensive backs closing in, as that's 1st down and 10 for Luke Dana. They're going to give it to Quinn White up the middle. Quinn White has a little bit of room to run, tanking forward for 10, 11 yards, and that's another Irish first down. As someone's looking for a flag. Looks like they won't, though.
Edmonds-Woodway. No, they will not be an Edmonds-Woodway timeout. As about 1:40 left to go here in the second quarter. Irish, not like hurry up, really urgent, but they're trying to go quick here, trying to get a score as split back formation. Dana under center, hands it off to Jason Brown, as he's going to be wrapped up with a swarm of Woodway defenders, as he will lose about a yard or 2 on that one. Will there be a timeout? Yes, there will. Coach Kohler will call one. Their first of the half, 1:19 here to go at the end of the second quarter.
With that, I mean, so far, recapping this first half, it was a fast start for the Irish, and just they've been rolling the whole time. Defense gave up 6, but not the worst thing ever. That was that one really nice screen to Fittings, set that one up, and that is what has resulted in a lot of the work. As we are looking at a minute 20 before they will hit the locker rooms. What do you think the message is going to be for O'Day at this half? Just
keep doing what you're doing. I mean, what can you really complain about when you're up by almost 30 points at halftime? So, just keep doing what you're doing. You may want to get some other guys in there depending on the score at halftime to get them some playoff experience. But nonetheless, just keep doing what you're doing, like I said, as Dana will be in a split back formation with 2 receivers out to his left. Darian and Andrew Tran, as Dana drops back, as he will drop it in the bucket to Andrew Tran, makes the catch, takes a big hit, and that'll be a penalty. That's going to be another 15 yards after possibly a face mask. Or I'm not sure what they'll rule that, but
it looks like that was either a hit on it. It looks like that was an unnecessary roughness
helmet
or a
to
hit
helmet
on a defensive receiver that he sort of wrapped around the neck. That was a weird, lowered his head but also wrapped around the neck. I don't think they're going to call him for targeting, because I don't think that was it. He didn't leave the feet. He didn't really go at the crown area, but they're going to call a personal foul.
Oh, they will rule targeting.
Call targeting, and I don't know. I'm not a high school rule expert. I don't know if that results in any sort of ejection.
I'd have to believe. I'm not sure the rule book exactly for high school, but in college he'd be gone.
Yeah, I mean,
which I don't think he is. He's staying on the field, but
yeah, I think that was enough of a. That must have just been enough
incidental
of a head-to-head contact that they're going to call him for it. As O'Day, they were ready to go, but the chains were not ready to go.
The chain crew was not ready to go. No,
I believe those. Yeah, that is. They have a minute 12 to work with to get 11 yards.
They got a lot of time or not a lot, but they have time as Dano will be in the I formation. Quick toss right to Jason Brown. Makes a cut outside as they're probably going to call a hold on that one. Not sure who got it, but
Jason Brown around the right side.
yes, in fact, they will. And that'll back up O'Day by about 10 yards.
Nice. Temperatures dropped 5 degrees so far. Wind, looks like it has stayed about the same, right around 20 degrees, going to the northeast for anyone who needs that information. Probably many of you do out there, but that's all we know is it's going towards that east end zone. A little bit more, as that's going to be a hold on O'Day, sets up a first down and 20. Here from the 21-yard line, Dana under center has Quinn White and Jason Brown in the backfield.
I like that matchup there on the left side with Darian Murrah.
I do too, but does Dana? He does not. He dumps it off to Jason Brown left side for the screen pass, and he has it inside the 10 down to the 9-yard line, as that sets up a second down and second down and much more manageable, and the clock will stop on an O'Day timeout. Now going to the other side, I would like to contradict what you were saying earlier. I think they're going to go to the locker room and say we want to play the least physical football we can in the second half. We have everything to lose in this game. We're up by a lot. We're the favored team. Let's finish this one out. Let's not take any unnecessary risky hits. I think Kohler's message is going to be go to the ground. If you see if you see a situation where you know you're going to get tackled, just go to the ground. Don't force any unnecessary hits on your body. Stay healthy for state, because at this rate, they are going to win this game. They have dominated this first half. They want to continue that into the second half. So I think that's going to be the message to them. Edmonds-Woodway, what do you think is going to be said there?
I'm not sure. I mean, you want to give them props to getting that touchdown at the end, and you especially will if you don't let O'Day score here, because, like I said, you do get the ball going into halftime, where you can make it a 2-possession game if you do score a touchdown. So I think you really have to think positive, if you're them. You could be down by a lot more with the way O'Day has played in some games this year, nonetheless. So you really have to clap it up to that. But there's not really much you can do. The size disadvantage is just huge. As Dana will be under center in the I formation, as he will go play action. He has a man wide open in the end zone. That is a O'Day touchdown.
Xander Turner,
the guy in your mentor group, would you look at that, coming in big here for O'Day. It is now 34-6 with under a minute left in the second quarter. Wide open. Can't say anything else about that one.
Fooled both of us on that. I mean, Luke Dana doing the soft skills as a quarterback, the hard count and faking the play action, he does very well at those two things. There, great route running from Xander Turner, found himself wide open in the end zone. For 6, hopefully 7 here. Owen Livingston on for the point after with 42 seconds left in this first half of action. Hoping to send the boys to the locker room up by 29 here, as Livingston hits the ground after putting that one through. So it's 35-6, 42 seconds left in this first half of play. I think I agree with what you're saying, just trying to get something going. Find what's working. I think they're going to run more screens on that offensive side. That worked last drive. I bet they're going to try to get it to work in future drives. I mean, they do get the ball first, so that's one extra offensive possession. They're not out of this game. They're not out of it. But if they want to put themselves in a position to win it, then they have to act fast. And I think that really just starts with with scoring on the first possession of that second half. Or maybe get something together here.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. You really want to get something together here, because 29 points is a tall mountain to climb against O'Day and their defense. It really is. So you really need to get something going here, at least 3. I know 42 seconds is really on a time crunch, but you got to do what you got to do.
When you have 2 timeouts in a passing offense, it's a little bit easier, but not a lot easier. It's still a tough thing, even at the college and pro level. You're seeing that 42 seconds is not a lot of time. Patrick Mahomes only needs 13, but if you're not Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes don't exist in high school football. They really don't.
As much Luke Dana and Tony Russo, you guys are great quarterbacks. You are not Patrick Mahomes. All right, let's put
nobody in the whole state is.
Nobody is. Even Arch Manning, not quite there yet. But regardless.
Most quarterbacks in the NFL aren't even as good as Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, really. Not even. I am a Seattle sports fan. I know I had my words to say about Geno Smith before the season, but he is not even Patrick. He's having a great season. I'm happy to see that he's doing that. I still think Drew Lock should have gotten a fair chance, but Geno Smith, hey, top 10 quarterback right now. Is that what he's ranked?
Yeah, more than that, possibly. MVP candidate. Let's not forget that, as Owen Livingston will kick it off after the wind knocked the ball down a couple times. That will go into the end zone, a good boot by him, and Edmonds-Woodway will start it at their own 25-yard line.
I will say, I was hoping for a Tyler Bugby kick that hit the back, a Garfield tendencies that where Tyler Bugby just kicks the ball. I think that's a smart thing to try to aim it at the back of these up men, as a similar trait to that Garfield game that we're going to see is Jason Brown coming on the defensive side, putting him at that linebacker spot or maybe the corner spot. They are going to line him up on the outside at corner. Mirage is going to be deep. It looks like they're playing 2 or 3 safeties. They have Mirage 8 yards back. Brown is pressing at the line on Eskandon. They have 3 defensive linemen. They're going to pitch to Fitting left side out of the gun. He gets 6, and that clock is going to stop on a timeout. That's not the play call you want there. You want to be passing the ball more than just a little pitch to the left side. But you know what? Hey, this coach knows what he's doing. He's able to put up 6 so far, looking to put up more here. Maybe there's strategy behind this. Regardless,
you never know.
Yeah, man. We give him credit. Let him do his thing now. So, second down and 4 will be the down and distance upcoming. O'Day right now running 3 defensive linemen. In a way, they're running no safeties. In another way, they're running 4 safeties. I think it's interesting to see. They're sort of double covering every one of these receivers, but not really. They had more. I think they're just running maybe a 3-man deep thing, but in a very strange way. I haven't seen a defense like this before. As they're going to move Brown to the other side. Mirage looks like he's going to stay on the near side with Salopek, maybe. No, Mirage is going to go to the other side. So really interesting. Looks like now they're back to the man-to-man. That was an interesting play. I don't know why you would be doubling maybe to avoid one of those bubble screens they were running to Eskandon earlier on. So, I don't know, really
you never know. Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see what they run here. But Edmonds-Woodway taking their time to get the play call situated. They're going to run 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Maybe it looks like in the calling something's going on, but I don't know. Maybe they want to throw this O'Day defense off guard. But yeah, regardless.
We're ready to roll after that. And seemingly long timeout. I don't know if that was me, but
I don't know. Maybe I think we're so used to 30-second timeouts that maybe that was a standard timeout and just getting set. Because it did take a while for the refs to recognize
that is true.
That's a fair thing, because I was thinking the same thing. Regardless, Warren's going to drop back, looks left side, fakes to Fitting, and then just spikes it in the dirt.
He had nowhere to go. Not even. I mean, the plan was to get a running back out of the backfield, but the Irish had it swallowed up. There was no room to go. That's just a smart decision to not get a turnover before half.
Yeah, I think that was great play there to sort of not really give it an option, because that's where they find the success, getting completions behind the backfield and then finding that the middle area between where the secondary is really deep and the line of scrimmage. That's where they get a lot of yards. So, but then been able to do it on this drive so far.
No, they haven't. They've on just 2 tough plays. You know, they had that toss right, and then they had that incompletion. But trying to get something here is Warren in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to Fitting, as he will go nowhere. Maybe a gain of 2 on that, maybe a gain of 1 or 2. But as we will have a timeout, I believe that's for Edmonds-Woodway, I believe, right? Yeah, wait.
I saw timeouts on both sides.
Yeah, it's going to be one official was pointing towards Edmonds-Woodway. The other was pointing towards O'Day. I'm not so sure. A little bit of confusion on that, but it makes sense why O'Day called that timeout. I was kind of confused if Edmonds-Woodway called that one.
It looks like it is getting called by O'Day, for sure. I will say it is nice. You see sometimes these uniforms can kind of combine, but the all-white from Edmonds-Woodway and the maroon on gold, traditional look for O'Day, contradicts themselves a lot. As it is nice to see. I like the traditional look for O'Day. I've always been a fan of it. I love they wear it during playoffs. I hope they wear it. I hope they get the opportunity to wear it deep into the postseason. really do.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, man, you're seeing right now a win on either side will send them deep or will send them to state. I don't know. I'm not so sure about how seeding works.
The seeding's weird is every team, as we all know, they're playing their district or regional or whatever you want to call it game right now. And the way that works is you have, as you can see on the graphic, you have O'Day at 3 and Edmonds-Woodway at 30 as we have a toss right to fitting here as that'll go. I don't think they're going to give them the first down on that. As O'Day, could they possibly do something here with 11 seconds left?
I think they do not have a timeout. I think if you go to 10-yard out route and make sure just get it to the outside, get out of bounds, and then let Owen Livingston boot it. He's been money so far. Let him be money again. So we'll see what they do here. Possibly could come out and just kneel the ball down, but I don't know. That's not quite the Kohler. It's not the Kohler thing per se.
No, it really exactly isn't, knowing the dominant O'Day rushing offense. But you got to do what you got to do as we have a split back formation here. Dana under center, drops back as he has a man. He's trying to find Mirage, just overshoots him in the back corner of the end zone. About a foot or two too far in front of him, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 with about 7 yards left. I could probably see another shot here. You're kind of in that in-between range where you never know exactly what's going to happen, because if you take too long, you don't get anything out of it. I mean, with this win, I find it hard to believe that they're going to kick a field goal in this weather.
I don't know.
But no, to be fair, the wind is at his back, and Owen has a great leg.
Owen has. Yeah, he's been. I've seen him in warm-ups all season long. He hasn't had the opportunity to boot one for really more. I think the longest he's hit from is about 33 this season. But
yeah, I think so.
They haven't put him out there for longer than that. So we're going to see what they do here. But Dana under center, you can hear the wind in our microphones. Jason Brown's going to line up in the slot. This is the first time I've seen 3 wide receivers line up for O'Day all season long, I think ever. But Luke Dana under center, looks left side, now looks right side.
Oh boy, he
runs out of the pocket, rolling, still looking, looks over the middle this time, stops and goes multiple times, going deep for the end zone, and that is incomplete as time expires. Throws it into a sea of white and maroon jerseys. 35-6 going into half. That will be where we take a quick break here for halftime. And the Irish leading this game. Edmonds-Woodway looking for an opportunity to bounce back. We'll be right back here live on YouTube just after half. Test.
As we are ready here. We're sorry about the technical difficulties there getting back from halftime, but Edmonds-Woodway with the first down after getting the ball at halftime. 1st and 10 here from about their own 37 or 38-yard line. Jack, what do you think the speech was at halftime for both sides of the ball?
You know, I think O'Day was very much keep on doing what you're doing, but don't get hurt. I think that was kind of the whole message, the whole idea, but on the same time, as Diego Exendon is going to traverse the field before getting taken down by Jason Brown for a loss. Back to what I was saying, I think that was kind of the whole mantra from Coach Kohler. But I think on the other side of the ball, on the other side of the field there, Edmonds-Woodway is saying, you know, we got to run more of those screens. We got to make sure we can set up Liam Fitting in the backfield, get him some room to run, get him yards going. I think that's their whole message, is setting up Fitting and making sure he has space to run, because that's what's been working so far. And those tunnel screens to Diego Escondon and the little short passes like that is what has been working so far. So I think they need to run with more of that as it sets up a 2nd down and 12 here. Warren rolling right, looks right side now. And that pass is incomplete.
Nope.
Did not hold on. That was Cannon Kennard, the 5'6", 130-pound sophomore. And so that's going to set up a 3rd down and 12 here. So after a solid first catch of the drive for Diego Escondon across the middle for a gain of 10, is now a 3rd down and 12. First down at the 48-yard line.
Wait. No, I believe that's the 30.
First down.
No, they didn't give him the first down. It's 3rd and long.
3rd down and long. First down at the 48-yard line.
If you're Edmonds-Woodway, you really need something here, especially with this being the second half now finally, as Warren will be in the gun once again with Fitting in the backfield as he rolls to the left. Scripted play as he fires. It takes a huge shot, but it's going to be caught. Jesse Hart on the completion, and that'll bring him down to about the O'Day 30. QB and Hart took a huge shot on the play, but nonetheless, it's a big completion for a big play for the Warriors.
That was great. That was a great throw with a great completion on the end of it. Really had to put in a tough spot there with a ton of defenders around, and that was great throw and catch. Hit him in the fingertips as well. Not much you can do else you can do on defense there. That was a great throw and catch. Man, I haven't seen like that anything like that for the entire night. We've been waiting for a deep shot from Edmonds-Woodway and just haven't found it yet. So with that being said, 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Liam Fitting in the backfield with Warren. Warren's going to drop back, looks right side, looks for the tunnel screen option, floats it, and he gets blown up.
Ooh, I thought he got it picked off for a minute.
And that's going to be incomplete.
Sir Hart on the pass deflection.
And that's going to be setting up a 2nd down and 10 there. Looks like he hit him hard enough that it jarred the ball loose. Edmonds-Woodway, this is go time for them right now. 35 points. A 35-point deficit anytime will force a running clock, and that will remain throughout the rest of the game. So if you're Edmonds-Woodway, you have to score on this drive and prevent O'Day from scoring. And if you do not, you have to prevent O'Day from scoring on their drive, or else that'll even more minimize the amount of time you have to work with here. As Liam Fitting is going to get up for 5 yards on the as a gain, setting up 2nd down and more manageable here. Naturally, though, I think this O'Day defense, that was a great play there, but I mean, overall, they've been forcing 3rd downs on this drive, the second one they forced. I think they just have to make sure that they don't give it a big play here.
No, for sure.
I think coming out of the locker room all season long, they come out a little more slowly, relaxed. They have the lead here, so I think they just got to lock in more as they give it to Fitting up the middle, but it's going to be Zach Proctor only letting it get a yard. And that's going to be a 4th down and 3 there. Looks like a few Warriors tangled up. Looks like that pretzel icebreaker game you play whenever.
Everyone's all right, it appears, as, like you mentioned, it's going to be about a 4th and short for Edmonds-Woodway, really needing to convert, so they will leave the offense out there for this drive. Trying to get inside the red zone here, as Warren will be in the gun, Fitting in the backfield, 4 wide receivers wide. Seems to be the theme for this Woodway offense, as Warren drops back, throws a screen pass. He's going to be brought down by Sage Salopek. He will not get the first down, and Edmonds-Woodway will turn it over to the O'Day Irish, as no score, obviously. 8:15 left in the 3rd quarter. Not exactly a 3 and out, but no score for Edmonds-Woodway, as the wind is really picking up here as later we go into the game, as it is really blowing in our mics here for a minute.
First down for O'Day at
as O'Day will take over at roughly their own 20, about their 20-yard line with, I believe, Luke Dana under center. I formation, hands it off to Quinn White, the fullback. He's going to break a couple tackles, run over a guy, and get down to the 35-yard line. It's a good, hard run from him. Gain of 12 and an Irish first down.
Yeah, I mean, he really did just run over that man there. He ran over Jesse Hart, who's been a pretty good defender so far today, but on all three sides of the ball, he's been effective, but just that time it was outmatched by the 6'2 fullback. So that'll set up a first down and 10 at the 35-yard line. Clock taking under 8 minutes now. I think O'Day's thing, they're definitely running, they're definitely moving a little bit slower, not feeling as forced right now. And I bet that's the strategy that they're going to roll with for the rest of the night. As it's Dana under center once again in the I formation. The left, he was Mirage. To the right is Tran. He's going to hand it off to Jason Brown up the middle. Brown bounces left side. Gets a little bit of room to run. Goes out of bounds, though. And I think that talks to the point that I was talking about earlier after the 6-yard gain. He didn't want to hit that. He didn't want to take a hit there. He just went out of bounds and said, you know what, I'm not going to risk myself getting injured here. They're in a pretty good spot to put this game away. They just have to run with the clock there. It obviously stops the clock, but that's worth it when you're thinking about, if they do win this game, he's healthy. That's a key guy in their offense as well. So.
Yeah, and like you mentioned about the keeping guys healthy, and you really just want to grind clock here. That's your main goal. You don't want to take too many incompletions. I mean, we mentioned earlier about the running clock. You really just want to get as quick as you're done, get out healthy. That's your main goal at this point in the game, as Dana will run a misdirection play over to Jason, as he will get, in fact, the first down, and about a gain of 5. As the chains officially will move, as another O'Day first down seems to be the common theme of this game again.
Yeah, I mean, this team is playing very well today. They're going to stop the clock. It's an official's timeout. Looks like somebody's they're going to call somebody's, looks like Dylan Cohen's elbow. Not sure what happened there. He's equally as confused. But regardless, Finn Greenan, this long snapper, place snapper, everything snapper himself will check into the game. And it'll be first down and 10 at the 46 now. I formation once again. It's Beckett Swanson and Jason Brown in the backfield. To the right is Andrew Tran. Left side is Darren Mirage. I believe that is going to be Ben Miller in at tight end. Great move from Jason Brown getting forward. Gets about 7 or 8 on the carry. They're going to give him 6, actually. And that's going to set up a second down and very manageable. Keeps that clock rolling now under 6:30 on the game.
Very impressive considering he did have a little bit of a bobble there on the play. Still able to get it to about a 2nd and 7 here. As down to about 6 minutes, as you mentioned, Jack, with Luke Dana out there for the Fighting Irish, as we will have a split back formation. Believe that is what, Andrew Tran in there in the back? No, that is
Rasan Thomas.
Yeah, Rasan Thomas. Would you look at that as he hands it off here to Beckett Swanson, the fullback, making cuts. He breaks a couple tackles. Does he have the angle? I believe he does, and he is gone. But there's a flag, and I believe this one will get called back for a hold. Man, you really hate to see runs like that getting called back. That was an amazing run. Couple broken tackles, a good cut, able to get the edge. But the referee will confirm, and it will be a hold on O'Day. Unfortunately, that wipes off the 6 points for the Irish, but nonetheless a great run.
Yeah. Now, I will say it was downfield, so
you do get some of the yardage back, though.
Yeah, he will get some. Darren Mirage there. Great run regardless from Beckett Swanson. I think he may have been able to break away regardless, but just looks like he took not a great angle on that block. And so they are still going to get a first down. It's ball placed on the 33-yard line as the foul was at the 23-yard line. So that's where they're going to set up shop here. 5:50 left in this third quarter. We're already halfway through this quarter, a drive and a half in. This quarter's been moving very fast. That's not what you want if you're Edmonds-Woodway. You got to get a stop right here and turn the ball over and score very, very quickly. I'd say by the time the clock hits 3 minutes, that's your goal. So here's Luke Danny. He's going to give it up the middle to Rasan Thomas, the 6'4 running back. Will get 3 on the carry down to the 30-yard line. That's going to set up a second down and 7, but that clock is going to stay rolling here. And I talked to some guys at halftime, and the thing is, those guys on the sideline, they're kind of they don't have necessarily complete energy right now. They mentally, they're seeing the score and they're saying, you know, I just want this game. They're kind of waiting for this one to wrap up, but at the same time, a lot of guys want to get, you know, they want to see the tendencies of that traditional O'Day offense take effect, and they want to see some good play here from that, especially guys on that offensive line want to see more dominance and just be able to study how these guys come off, how these starting five are able to fire off the line. Pitch right side to Jason Brown. He finds some room right side up the sideline, and he's going to make a cut before chauffeuring himself out of bounds as the clock will stop with 4:52 to go in the quarter, and they have another first down.
The runs of about 5 to about 15 yards have been the common story of O'Day football really this year, and especially this game. I'm not keeping track, as I've mentioned, but they've had to have at least 10 of those runs for first down so far in this game, and they need to keep them coming because that's how you drain the clock right there. As Dana, quick screen pass as it's going to be way out in front of Andrew Tran. It'll be incomplete to bring up a 2nd and 10.
I think I've seen it multiple times this year on those slot bubble screens where it's just out in front of the receiver, whether it's Andrew Tran, Tyler Bugby, or whoever. And I think that's just a thing of, you know, they're doing a traditional bubble route versus just a sideways run, which is what I think Luke Dan's expecting. So they got to get that under control because those are effective plays there. They were running, they got to the line very quickly, and if Tran was able to haul that one in, he would have, I mean, he could have easily run for 12 at least 12 yards before you would have run into a defender. Plus, he had that blocking from Darren Mirage, which would have certainly helped.
The quickness that Tran has is truly special. You know, I mean, he is so shifty and elusive as a bit of a jump there by the defensive line, but hands it off to Jason as he will make a cut and be dropped down by a swarm of Woodway defenders at about the 11-yard line. And that'll bring up a 3rd and roughly 5 or so. Yeah.
Yeah, and 3rd and medium here, that clock running. We're now under 4.5 to go in this game. O'Day looking for a score here. I would love to see, I mean, the play action rollout pass has been working for the most part. They have 2 touchdowns on it, 1 through the air, 1 on the ground. So I'd love to see more of that, but however, I could easily see one of the counter runs that have been working so well, or maybe just hand off to Beckett Swanson here up the middle. There is not a count, it's a play action.
What a bootleg.
Rollout.
Wow.
Bootleg from Dana, and he gets his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year as he loses the ball after he's in the end zone for the touchdown, gets in for 6.
Big body play there from Luke Dana. Not a big guy, only about 5'8" or so. But, man, he just ran through a couple of Woodway defenders there like he was about 6'5", 220. Wow. It takes guts to have that play, and he sure did it. Give props to him on that one. 41-6 O'Day with 4 minutes left to go here in the 3rd quarter.
I mean, I can't imagine Coach Kohler or Pierre is too happy about that one. I don't get to talk, but, man, guts is what that takes.
He did not pay attention to the play clean football and just fall down rule that you mentioned earlier.
I think that he was personally delivering a message to me. The extra point is up and good as a late flag.
That's going to be on the running into the kicker, but yeah, they'll decline that one as it extra point goes through. Oh no, it'll be assessed on the kickoff, quite actually. But 42-6 O'Day, 3:56 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a short break here on YouTube.
Back on this windy evening as the lights are on here at Memorial Stadium under the shadow, not anymore the shadow, the Space Needle, as it looks like some different names. Brendan Murphy will come off the kickoff unit. King Allah will get on the kickoff unit. And it's going to be Owen Livingston booting this one away to give the Warriors their second drive of this second half. As you can hear, the wind is picking up here in Lower Queen Anne as Owen Livingston, that kick is underway. That ball is hit deep, and it will be halfway deep into the end zone in the air. Man,
that wind is really helping that kick, isn't it?
Yeah, he is. I mean, we saw it during, I think he hit from 50 during halftime.
Yeah, he did.
I want to see, I'm not going to tell Kohler what to do. That's not my place, not my job. But if we happen to have a 4th down and 8 from the 30-ish yard line, I think that we should consider letting the man do his work.
Mm-hmm.
It's different when guys are running out. You get that, but he was the 3-step take. I've seen him hit from longer when he's been running up and kicking.
We both have, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's able to do it, but really impressive leg. That might be able to pay off later in the postseason as they make to Fitting. Warren struggling, moving out of the pocket, now steps up. He's hit by Murphy as he throws, and that ball is way behind Eskandon.
But he's quite lucky there was no one there to just be right there and pick it off.
Yeah, that's a great point. As 3:48, the clock is stopped.
I believe it's 40 points for the running clock.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. We've had too many of these leads. I forget.
High school football gets all the rules they're always different or the exact same. No one's ever sure. So the clock is stopped right now. That's what we know. So regardless of
one more O'Day score and no Woodway score, and then we'll have a running clock, I believe.
That sounds about right. As it's David Schwarzel coming in from the back end, hitting. Looks like it was fitting that time, and 3rd down and 9 will be the yards to gain here with 3.5 left in the quarter. And timeout is taken by Edmonds-Woodway. With that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Back at it here from Memorial Stadium as Warren's going to roll left, chased by Sir Keenan Hart, and throws it into a plethora of bodies, maroon and white jerseys alike, but it's going to drop down incomplete.
He almost had him there on the arm. He was chasing him. I think he really did affect the throw nonetheless, so got to give props to him while you can, and that'll bring on the punt unit for the Warriors.
I will say the offensive line in that first quarter, it didn't look bad at all, but I think the physicality of that defensive line is really, it's been relevant, and I think that's why they've been able to dominate so far.
The size and depth has really gotten to Edmonds-Woodway in this game. Early in the game you can maybe get away with it in games like this, but when you later on, considering the small team and numbers they have, it's really not going to go too well. As Salopek will field that at about the 50-yard line and be dragged down by the Edmonds-Woodway special teams. Great tackling there by a bunch of defenders. Leading the charge was number 35, Hennick Simons on that one. Good tackle there, the sophomore.
I will say Simons gave about half a foot of room.
Yeah.
I was surprised there was not a flag there. But
yeah, he let him catch it. No fair catch was called, though.
That could be part of it. And it's obvious that you obviously wanted to try to run that one back, but I would have definitely taken the fair catch in that if that was me. But hey, I'm not a returner. It's not my thing. But yeah, regardless, we're gonna have 1st and 10 here on O'Day.
Starter's still out there. That's another thing I think we should point out.
Yeah, as they have Bugby in the slot and Dunley out wide. Dana under center. He's going to give to Swanson up the middle. Swanson gets some room to run. Stiff arms a man, puts him to the ground. What a Oh my gosh, that is a big body putting a man into the turf, as that is 14 yards and moves the chains with 3:10 left in this third quarter of play here. Man, that was a Josh Allen stiff arm if I've ever seen one. Man, that was a what a play by Beckett Swanson there.
Big boy stiff arm right there.
That was a big boy stiff arm. Oh my gosh.
Maybe that makes up for the run he got called back. I don't know. I hope
he was taking anger out on him. That's what it was.
Oh, wow. Dana in the split back formation, 2 wide receivers out to his right as he will run a counter play to Jason Brown. He finds a hole, running into his own man as he will get down to about the Woodway 26-yard line. Could that have possibly affected him from getting more yards on there?
I think Gobi Goodson's willingness to go to blockers or to defenders chasing Jason Brown versus going downfield for tacklers that could tackle Jason Brown, I think that confused them up about that. So,
got to give a happy birthday to him while you're at it too.
Yeah, happy
Gobi.
Happy birthday, Gobi. happy birthday there. But yeah, I think you did definitely see 2 guys running into each other. You do not usually see run into each other in that respect. Hey, you know what? Still getting the first down there, as it's going to be Quinn White checking into the game at fullback in the slot as Tyler Bugbee out wide, Nick Dunley, Ben Miller at tight end. They're going to give a fullback dive to Quinn White. White gets a little bit of room to run, gets about 5 or 6 there on the run, and with under 2 minutes in the third quarter to play, and the clock's still running, they're going to set up with a second very manageable. I bet here Coach Pierre and Cole are going to take a nice long time to give Dan and the opportunity to get back into the huddle, and they'll be running the clock down here soon enough. They have a pretty big lead, and they don't want anything to blow it. And with 13 and a half minutes to go in this football game, you really don't want to give any extra time to Edmonds-Woodway that you can. Every minute counts to be able to put this one away. At Edmonds-Woodway, when they get this ball back, I can imagine they're going to be go, go, go immediately, not really just rely on screens anymore for those deep balls. May occur once in a while as Jason Brown bounces left side and now gets about 6 or 7 on the run down to the 15-yard line. And that's going to be a first down for O'Day as the clock stops at 1:15. And this team has been doing the thing that exactly what you expect in the second half, just running that clock quickly. And it's already down to a minute left in this third quarter. They can do the same thing in the fourth quarter. They can put this one away with ease.
And it seemed like the quarter is just breezed by, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean that is true.
That's what running the ball will do. That's that's for sure. As Dan in the I formation once again, as he'll hand it off to the fullback. I believe that's Quinn White out there, as he will get stopped by a bunch of Woodway defenders for no gain.
I will say, for being met behind the line of scrimmage immediately, as the Edmonds-Woodway defensive line read that play very, very well. He was able to manage a yard or 2 there, and that's quite impressive. For the amount he was stopped. That just really shows the intensity and physicality of these guys. That is a Coach P product. That is a Coach P product right there. As it will be second down and 9 from the 14. First down at the 5-yard line. Out wide is going to be Tyler Bugbee to the far side of your screen. On the near side is going to be Nick Dunley. Split back formation. Dana will give to Brown. Right side, room to run inside the 5 and walks into the end zone for the triple touchdown day. Touchdown Irish.
Too easy. And there's just 2 words for that right there. I know he really just jogged that one in towards the corner of the end zone. Like you said, the 3rd touchdown of the day for Jason. Great blocking, great execution, great cuts by Jason.
Great play call in general. I think they saw that the right side of the field was kind of getting left wide open, and maybe they're thinking Kohler can't see all the way over there. I mean, he's standing next to me. He's not the tallest of men, but, he has guys. He's eyes in the sky up here. So they were kind of thinking, maybe they can just run it the right side, and that's what they did and scored with it. So with that, he's going to get a hat trick on the day, as Owen Livingston, who has remained perfect so far. Knock on wood. Hope I didn't jinx that. Sorry if I did, Owen. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is perfect. As 49-6 will be the score going into the 4th quarter. We'll be right back here live on YouTube in just a moment.
We are ready and back to start the fourth quarter with O'Day with a 49-6 lead after capped off with a Jason Brown rushing touchdown. As we will once again have wind problems in this game, as I believe for the third time we will have a guy hold the ball, Rasan Thomas, in fact, for Tyler Bugby to kick it away to start off the fourth quarter here.
Providing a great service for this team. Good job, Rasan. Great work. That kick is away. It is a line drive fielded by the third or fourth level, fumbled by Escondon. Now he runs into his own man. He's met. I believe that return's going to net about 3 yards. Salopek says that's an O'Day ball. Might have come out after the ball, after he was down or something, but didn't get quite the best angle there, as the clock will just run in this fourth quarter. And in 12 minutes, we will have a defined winner that will move on to the state tournament. And I'm really kicking off around the state now. You're seeing these district. I say that with air quotes. Games. It's teams from Mount Spokane is competing, I believe. I forgot who. Someone had to go over to Mount Spokane across the state.
Lake Washington.
Lake Washington. That's who it was. Having to go across the state for a district game. And if Mount Spokane does advance, I mean, they're a high enough seed that I bet they're going to have to be. There will be possibly Metro League teams that are having to go across the state to place Mount Spokane. But I will say it's fair, because later on Mount Spokane, if they continue to win, they will have to come over here. Last year, Peninsula had to go literally across the state for that. But a timeout will be taken by Edmonds-Woodway.
You mentioned that they may have to do it again if both of them are able to win. I mean, it all depends on what happens. We kind of got cut off at the end of the first half when explaining this, because O'Day got the ball back. We tried to score a last-minute touchdown. But during the timeout, I'll take a little bit to explain sort of how the playoffs do work. So as Jack mentioned, we do have districts going on right now across the whole state, like 3 plays 30, 2 plays 31, 4 plays 29, etc. And what's going to happen is, out of all the 16 teams that win between all the games, they will be reseeded by the WIAA in a 1 through 16 matchup. And it's really up to them on who determines to who gets 1, who gets 2, who gets 3. But we can kind of get an idea of what the seeds are now, what that's going to be like. Like, if Eastside and Yelm, who are 1 and 2, are able to hang on like O'Day is right now, there's probably a good chance O'Day will probably end up getting 3
and I will
in the bracket.
The first 5 teams seeded right now, if they are all 5 able to win, which I think is pretty likely. It is right now. Number 1 is Yale. Number 2 is Eastside Catholic. 3 is O'Day. Number 4 is Lincoln of Tacoma, the Abes, and number 5 is Bellevue. Those are the 5 clear-cut best teams in 3A right now. I don't want to say that's going to be the final 5 teams, but I don't be surprised when 4 of those teams are in the state semifinal later on this year, if that happens. There's a long way to go before that. There are a lot of good underdog teams out there who have something to prove. So I'm not saying it is far from wraps, but it is something to think about when you look at these teams and just the status they're at, because those 5 are really playing at a different level than the rest of the state, I think, in regular season performance. I mean, you're seeing Yelm, a name that we kind of mention every year but has never been number 1. They've blown every opponent out by, I think, at least 25, 30 has been their smallest margin of victory.
Yeah, their smallest margin has been about 30, 31 points all year.
That's it doesn't matter who you're playing. That's ridiculous, because eventually you're bound to not do that. But the fact they're doing that every game is quite impressive. So
it really is. And, you know, they take on Bishop Blanchette down at Yelm later tonight as, wow, good run here by Fitting, the running back, as he will get down to about the 3-yard line of O'Day. Good run nonetheless there by Edmonds-Woodway. But back to what I was saying about Blanchette playing Yelm. That's a really tough test for them, playing the number 1 seed in the state. That's not easy no matter who it is. But yeah, it's really going to be interesting to see if the top 6 seeds do win, as, like you mentioned earlier, about Mount Spokane. Good chance we could play them if the top 6 stay the same in playoffs, you know. But a lot to look forward to. This is one of the best times of the year, as Warren throws a screen pass, and it is fumbled. Or did he get, no, the rule, he broke the play and got the touchdown, but almost a close call there for Edmonds-Woodway.
Defensive back's not happy about that one, as Will Kishbog will get credited with the touchdown. as many Irish defensive backs say he was a yard short of the plane. Regardless, Edmonds-Woodway will reach double digits in scoring, and they will have an opportunity to cut this deficit to 36 here. Hector Perez is going to try to boot this one through the uprights. Looks like a sub issue for Edmonds-Woodway. Just need an extra guy on the field. But really tonight, great game from the Irish, and there was one big run by Fitting there. That's a run by Fitting to set up both of these touchdown opportunities. That kick is blocked, his second blocked extra point of the night. But I mean, seeing those runs by Fitting, he's been their bright spot tonight. He's been the guy who's been doing most of the work. And when you have, they're a good team. There's a reason why they're here. But when it's centered around one running back, it's kind of tough to keep up with that, because then you just say, okay, we'll put two defenders on that we know can lock them up, and then the game's kind of done. So you can't really rely on that, and that's what they've been doing a little bit tonight, I think, and that's why they haven't been as successful versus O'Day, where you have options. You have 4 different running backs that you're rotating, 4 or 5 different running backs that you're rotating through, and that purely that depth, the size of the team really helps now, as the Irish are going to come back out here. But Edmonds-Woodway so far, they have definitely shown bright spots tonight in terms of executing screen passes. I think Warren has his ability to throw while he's in mid-air and off his back foot has been very impressive tonight, but just those opportunities haven't come as often as they're seeing against other teams like Mount Lake Terrace and Oak Harbor.
Definitely, for sure. And Edmonds-Woodway, they really caught fire in league play at the end of the regular season. I believe they won 3 in a row to get here. I mean, they were like 1-4 down and out, but they made a great showing to get back in the state playoffs. But looks like it'll come up just a little bit short here, as we will have an onside kick opportunity.
And Perez is going to
squib kick
up the middle, fielded by Jason Brown at about the 16-yard line. Luke Dana blocking for him. Now he cuts, goes the other way, left side, finds room to run across the 30, 35-yard line. Now across the 40, gets across midfield with blockers. One man to beat, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Irish! Jason Brown, 84 yards to the house, as that one really...
That's a video game style play right there.
Oh my gosh, it looks like me playing Madden right there as Jason Brown takes that one in for 6. That was an incredible run back. Oh
Definitely, not even a question. If you ever seen the ad about Bo Jackson playing Tecmo Bowl, running around back there as Jason, he went right, he spun around and went left. Look at that, down the sideline, touchdown O'Day.
Actually, I think to kill time, he should have run back to their own end zone.
Run around, spend some time back there.
Let's run out. Get him to run out the rest of the game clock. What a run from Jason Brown. I was thinking, questionable putting your starting running back out there, but man, what a performance that was.
Talk about unexpected. I don't think anyone expected that.
The kick is up and good, as one man almost blocked that one, but he is fine. Owen Livingston is 8 for 8 on the day with extra points. And the Irish lead is extended once again, this time to 44 points. As O'Day energy seems to be a little bit higher after that one. Man, that was some kick return. I've never seen a kick return like that before that hasn't just been, finding a hole and going. But, he started out not maybe a yard or two getting, but then he turned around, got Luke Dana to block for him, the starting quarterback, and just was able to break loose for a huge run.
I was going to mention the block there that Dana threw to, I believe, one of the Edmonds-Woodway players. I was like, oh, wow, that was going to be the block. That's the play. But no, Jason just kept on going. He found a little crease, and with his speed, he's gone.
And that's kind of a Jason Brown thing. We've seen that time and time again. If he can find a hole to run, he's going to take that hole, and he's just really going to abuse it and go for 89 yards if he needs to.
Oh, not even a question. He has the ability to do it, and that play showed it.
So regardless, it's going to be first down and 10. No, it will still be a kickoff. That'll set up a 1st and 10. Now, if Edmonds-Woodway can set up something here,
maybe another kickoff return.
Maybe. You know what? No more offense or defense for the rest of this game. I just want to see. I want to see kickoff returns. More of those. But Man, that's still setting in with me. Like, that was quite a return. As Tyler Bugby's going to boot this one away. Squib kick, fielded about the 28-yard line. First time it was fielded cleanly felled today. As the clock will run, as Edmonds-Woodway takes the field halfway through this fourth quarter now. But, I mean, now I will say we do not have any relevant scores around the state. No other 3A games. We're early. We're in the first, I believe we were the first to kick off.
We do have a little bit of something here, but we are the first game to be playing in the whole state or the regional playoffs, as you can tell by the score 56-12 on the screen there. But Arlington at Peninsula. Peninsula up 7-0 here early in the first quarter. We have Monroe up on Liberty 7-0 as
Fitting gets across the midfield there. Great run up the middle, just found a gap and went.
And just like what we were talking about, Yelm already up 6-0 on Bishop Blanchette 2 minutes into the game down there. And I'm sure pretty much everywhere else in the state is getting pretty bad weather, because I've noticed there's a big hole right in Seattle. Everywhere else, I mean, my aunt and uncle, they're down by the coast. They had a hole in the roof because they had about 4 inches of rain today.
I think I heard about some power outs on Capitol Hill earlier today. And
that's the light part of it too.
Yeah,
that's the crazy part.
There was supposed to be a 100% chance of rain here tonight. That possibly could be an explanation for the lack of attendance on both sides. And I mean, on the other in Eastern Washington, earlier this week, I saw clips at Wazoo of snow sticking to the ground. It looks about 2 or 3 inches on the ground there right now. It's something else. We are not getting. We're blessed here. This wind I know is annoying, but this is not an issue.
I know.
This is not affecting
but
the game.
We're just grateful to not be having the
gosh.
weather that everywhere else in the state has been getting, nonetheless.
Even though we're the most equipped for it undercover here, that's going to be deep over the middle to Jesse Hart.
Wow.
He's brought down at the 9-yard line. And big play there, Warren to Hart. A little too little, too late, it looks like. But still a great play nonetheless. Man, that was a big throw over the middle. Warren, I said he could air it out. He did air it out there. Just didn't have the opportunity. That defense has struggled to stop O'Day in any shape or form. And the offense just not able to get anything really going until kind of recently. So it's going to be Warren back in the gun. 2 receivers to either side once again, like they've been running all night, giving to Fitting up the middle. Fitting gets a little room to run. Maybe looks like he's going to get 3 or 4 there. And that's going to set up a 2nd down and goal from the 5-yard line.
3-yard gain on the play.
We are under 3.5 here to go in this one.
Goal to go.
But I bet getting into
On the 5-yard
getting another score here would really show something. And that deep ball there, that was great route running from the beginning from Jesse Hart, but definitely something you want to look at if you're one of the O'Day defensive back coaches. Fitting's going to have room up the middle, and he is going to be in for the score. As Edmonds-Woodway will increase their point total to 18 now with 3 to go in this one. 3:05 specifically.
They will go for 2, it appears. Yeah, they'll keep the offense out there to try to make it 56-20. 20 points on the O'Day defense is something that I think that may be the most that they've allowed. I mean, I know considering the garbage time touchdowns, but still 20 points is impressive, as they will in fact get it.
Great screen pass or cross route there. A lot of contact messing with the defenders. That's a great route to run, but 3:05 remaining in this one.
I'll check that real quick to whether or not that may be the most amount of points they've given up.
I think that's just.
Eastside Catholic got 24.
I think that's actually.
But the second most.
Like that's impressive there.
But yeah, got to give credit to them on that one. 20 points is not easy to do. I mean, sure, they were garbage time touchdowns, but has anyone else scored 20 points even in garbage time that O'Day has played? No, they haven't. So give credit to Edmonds-Woodway. They came in, had to play the number 3 seed. Pretty tough to do, and they got it. They played them pretty well. They dropped 20 points like we mentioned. So got to give credit to where credit's due. Not the outcome they wanted, but a good performance for their players and seniors nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. And, if you're Coach Kohler, there's not much you can fix. Those deep balls are something, but also the screen passes, Definitely something you're going to want to lock up on, but this is a learning experience for this O'Day team. They haven't really seen a ton of teams that run with that type of offense, and the fact they know how to defend it now is really important. So regardless, it's going to be Perez kicking it away one more time now. Back deep to return is Jason Brown. I would imagine, odds are he does not return a second. I'm not going to discount that as a possibility at all.
Let's think about it. None of us thought he'd return that one. Why not this one?
Who knows? That ball will tread
or it'll just go out of bounds. Probably the safe option if you're Edmonds-Woodway.
Very safe, very safe. So the 35-yard line is where this O'Day offense will get set. Looks like we're going to have new group in, seeing some underclassmen. Under center there. Looks like under center is going to be Joseph Fuavi. Joseph Fuavi getting under center for the Irish. In the backfield is going to be Mathis Hill, along with number 36, Hanio Morelli. Mo Cunningham to the near side. On the far side, can't quite tell who that is. Tight end is still Ben Miller. On the far side it's going to be number 13, Xavier Mitchell.
Getting experience is really valuable for the younger guys, like you mentioned, especially in a playoff game, because these are really your future guys, next man up when the seniors leave.
I think you're absolutely right about that. As Fuavi under center, the southpaw is going to pitch it right side to Mathis Hill. He's seen plenty of reps this season. He cuts back up the middle, and he'll get a first down on his first carry of the game here with under 2.5 to go. Mathis Hill, another representative from the Mr. Moore 205 Mena Group.
Yeah, your Mena Group's getting a lot of repetition and a lot of attention today.
Yeah, we're representing Kilkenny and house football. We have a game on Monday against Dublin House. For everyone paying attention to house football, Dublin did defeat Waterford 19-0. We will be facing Limerick. Kilkenny will be facing Limerick on Monday. The winners will play in the third and fourth place game will play on Wednesday, I believe. As they run up the middle to Morelli, he will get about 8 or 9 there. Hanio Morelli, the Coach P Product of the Month winner for the month of September. Putting the work in for the 6 a.m. workouts. Show something about his character as we get some new running backs in the game here. I believe that's Montre Jenkins coming in, but regardless, a minute 14 and the clock's still running. I can imagine Kohler's giving the guys the green light to run this down as much as possible. I think they have to run 2 more plays for this game to officially end.
Yeah, we'll see depending on this play. It's either one or two, this one and another one, or this one just may do it depending on how long it takes.
Pitch right side. And he's going to get contact. That's Davis LeClaire, as there's going to be a hold. The clock will still run, though. And that's going to bring the Irish back 10.
And that
However, the
should
clock will run,
do it, yeah.
I do not believe they will snap the ball again, as Coach Pierre Lidors is calling them in and getting the line up for the handshake at the end of the game. So at the end of this one, it's going to be an Irish victory. 56-20 is the final result today in districts. The O'Day Fighting Irish, the third-ranked O'Day Fighting Irish, will move on to the state playoffs. The Edmonds-Woodway Warriors will end their season on a bittersweet loss here at Memorial Stadium, as the O'Day Fighting Irish, like I said, next week they will be competing on either Friday or Saturday in the state playoffs. Make sure to watch Scorebook Live, Max Preps, and whatever other sources you get your high school football entertainment from for active scores. You're going to want to watch those Yelm and Eastside Catholic scores the most, as those will affect O'Day seeds the most. And we will keep you updated on Instagram, the O'Day Instagram, Twitter, and any other way you get O'Day news. We will update you when the next game is. We are unaware whether we will be able to broadcast future games. It is likely as long as O'Day has home field, but it's not 100%. So that's gonna be the final here from Memorial Stadium, 56-20. I'm Jack Nolan.
I am Andrew Byer.
Good night, folks.